So, Jared, when's the last time you played cornerback, and would you volunteer to play defense as well?
Last time I played any sort of defensive position, I broke my leg, so I don't think that'll be happening anytime soon. When was that? I was 12. Yeah.
Talk about, obviously you'd much rather have a win, but what your reaction was when they changed the stat and you had eventually set the record for passing yards in a game, school record?
Yeah, it was a cool little thing, but like you said, it really didn't matter because we didn't win. But I got the text from Kyle the next morning, and I told my parents, and they were kind of excited. But it wasn't anything to, be going crazy about it. It was just a cool little accolade, and we're just moving on. I couldn't really think about it too much because I was pretty upset about the loss, so it wasn't too big of a deal.
For a lot of your teammates, Jared, going down to play in LA is a big deal, playing in the Rose Bowl. You're obviously from up here. Does that have any special meaning to get to play in that stadium, or would you rather think about playing in that stadium in January?
Yeah. Actually, my sister goes there, so it'll be cool to go down there and see her. So that's a little cool thing. I know a bunch of people that go there. I actually liked the school when I went down there and visited when I was being recruited. I enjoyed UCLA. It was a cool little school, and I actually really liked it there. And but yeah, like you said, I'd love to play there in January. But we're getting a chance to play there this weekend, and we got to make the most of it.
How important is the matchup with Freddie at left tackle and Anthony Barr, probably one of the best defensive players in the country? How important is it that he can protect you, and what have you seen in his growth, and do you think he'll be ready for this?
Yeah, Freddie's very, very up for the challenge. I was just talking with him about it the last couple of days, and he's excited for it. He's very ready for it, and he knows that kid is a very talked about player, and like you said, he's one of the best defensive players in the country, and he's ready to show how good he is and kind of compare himself to this kid.
The UCLA game against Utah last Thursday, there were 6 interceptions. A lot of them were tipped, and Bryce was talking about how you guys have had a little bit of an issue with tipped passes this season so far. What is the mindset going into the game to avoid doing what Utah did against UCLA?
Yeah, the defensive line and linebackers are always going to try to put their hands up, and it's my job to really find the throwing lane to hit the guy where he needs to be hit. And I think I had a couple this past weekend, and I just need to try to work harder and just not let them get their hands up as much as they are, and kind of work around that and just do my best with it and just see what happens.
What will you guys do in practice to try to emphasize not fumbling? You've had some difficulties with fumbling, and some of them are circumstances where you don't even see a guy coming. Brendan's had some problems with fumbling. You guys have 10 turnovers the last 2 games, and most of them, I think, are fumbles. What can you do in practice to minimize that?
I think just really emphasizing holding the ball is really, all you can do. I know the running backs are doing drills, and Coach Ingram's getting a new tool he's got where he punches the ball, and I just emphasize it, just continue to emphasize it with the running backs and with myself and the receivers, and just hold on to the ball better. That's really all you can do during practice, is just really just work on, just squeezing it, and just it's mainly, I think, more of a mental thing. You just really got to focus on it, and and obviously, like you said, 10 turnovers is not what we want to do, and that's something that we need to get fixed for sure.
For Jared? All right, thanks, Jared. Oh, sorry, one last question.
Jared, you are a freshman on this team, but you're obviously one of the leaders. How do you try to take your leadership week in, week out, and try to be a leader on this team?
Yeah, I try to just, get everyone kind of excited for practice and excited to do stuff, and just continue to motivate them through tough times like we're going through right now, and just continue to stay positive about everything is really all you can do. And I know that when things go bad, people are going to be looking to me to see how I react, and I just got to stay positive about everything, and just keep my body language and everything I say pretty positive.
Is that it for Jared now?
You're passing for a lot of yards right now, but how can you translate those yards into actual points? Like this past week, it probably didn't show on the scoreboard. Do you feel like you need to improve in the red zone, or?
That's probably exactly right. I mean, we need to. We've struggled with that for a little while now, is scoring in the red zone, and that's something that we need to definitely improve on. Something we've been working on since the first week, and we just need to keep getting better at it and just figure out something that we can do to punch it in there inside the red zone. And we're working on that as we go out to practice.
Last season, Brett Hundley had probably one of the best seasons as a freshman quarterback in Pac-12 conference history. He set a record most yards by a freshman. Is there any added motivation this week to show that you're kind of maybe can outdo him, have a better year, and on a better future than him?
No. It's everything I've heard about him has been positive. He seems like a great guy, and it's never a quarterback versus a quarterback. It's just a team versus a team, and that's really what we're thinking about. I can't really think about all that stuff.